What's happening, fellas? Welcome back to my channel. It's Eddie and this is Fragnifiscents, and today we are going to talk about a pickup that I made last week from another clone house. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I said I wasn't going to get any more, but I changed my mind. So anyways, we're going to talk about this hype beast from last summer called Rifaaqat from the house of Paris Corner, or as we like to say in Southern Ohio, Rifaaqat. So we're going to talk about it. I'll let you know what I think about it and whether you might want to consider picking this up on the other side of the intro. So stay tuned. We're back and I'm so glad you stopped by. So why did I buy this clone when I said I wasn't going to buy any more clones? Well, we're going to give you a quick rundown. So I started collecting in 2021 in March, and I started following reviewers and getting recommendations on YouTube probably a couple of months later. So I guess the YSL Baby Cat was released in 22. And then from the spring to midsummer of 23, I had to leave for a while. And when I came back in August, that's when I heard everybody talking about Baby Cat, YSL Baby Cat. And when I first saw like the thumbnails, I thought it was just a tuxedo, and I looked a little bit closer and realized it's a different fragrance. And then rumblings about this started coming out. So it was summertime. I was interested in other things, other fragrances. I didn't want to focus on heavy winter, fall fragrances at the time. So I just kind of let it go, and it kind of took a back seat. And I kind of lost interest, to be honest. But then I saw somebody's recent review, and it's like, oh yeah, forgot about that one. So I had the money, and I figured, what the hell, I'll check it out. So that's why I ordered it. So now we're going to talk about it. And so let's go over the notes. Fooled you. First, we're going to do the presentation. Then we'll talk about the notes. So it's going to come in a white box like this. It looks like a tester box, actually. So you got the name of the company on top, Paris Corner, and then you've got Paris Corner logo and the Rifaaqat font in cursive on the front. You've got a barcode on the bottom. This is a eau de parfum concentration, and it's in a 2.8 fluid ounce bottle. And there's also warnings on here not to drink this because it could be very bad for you. And there's a sticker of authenticity. Fun. All right. So the bottle is a really nice thick glass. It seems like it's really high quality, although it's very simple. Whether you like that style, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. You know, I like simplicity and elegance, and that's kind of what this looks like. They could have done a better job on the cap. It's kind of cheap and it doesn't stay on very well. It stays on like this, but I wouldn't pick it up by the cap because you might have a broken toe in your future or a broken bottle. I don't know if you could break this bottle though. It's pretty thick, really thick. I mean, that's solid. There's not even an indentation on the bottom of there. And there's no sticker either, which is unusual. The atomizer, really nice, puts out, it's not pressurized, but it kind of feels like it is. Yeah, it's not, but it still puts out a lot of juice. All right, so that's pretty much it for the presentation. So now we'll talk about the notes. All right, so on the top you're going to get some elemi resin, which I have been kind of researching. Some pink and black pepper. We're going to get some saffron and olibanum, which is kind of like a frankincense in the mid. And then it's going to rest on a base of vanilla and sandalwood. No, cedarwood. Not sandalwood, cedarwood. Cedar, big difference. I guess in the original YSL fragrance, there's also an additional note of suede. But the reviewers didn't, I don't remember the reviewers making it out like there was a big difference or it mattered that much. So we're going to pretend that it doesn't matter that much. We're going to proceed as if it's its own creation because I've never smelled Baby Cat. I have no idea how close these resemble each other or how different they are. Because we're going to talk about whether or not I would buy the real thing at the end of the video. But anyways, I also wanted to read this write-up for you because it's kind of entertaining. Introducing Rifaaqat. Rifaaqat.
By Paris Corner Perfumes, a spicy fragrance that beckons you into a world of seductive allure, an undeniable charm, and irresistible magnetism that entices both men and women. Prepare to succumb to its enchanting embrace.
And with that, we know nothing about this fragrance. Who gets to write these? I want that job. Anyways, that's entertainment right there. So there's another write-up that doesn't really tell you much about the fragrance, but whatever. All right, so let's talk about what you experience when you spray this on. About the experience. So this is always the fun part of the video because, you know, trying to describe what something smells like is about as easy as trying to describe a color to a blind man. It's pretty challenging unless you have some kind of basis of comparison. So the best thing we can do is use smells that most of us are familiar with or other fragrances that we have in our collections. So when you first fire this up, it's going to be like this bouquet of these really nice spices with some freshness from the elemi, and it's going to be resting on this base of really nice vanilla, but it's way in the background, and it's just a little boozy when you first spray it on, just a little bit boozy, you know, so it kind of gives it something a little interesting. You know, there's no like a boozy note in the breakdown, but there's something that it kind of, you know, it's like it kind of reminds me of drinks that have like a root base. So think of things like root beer. I'm not saying it smells like root beer, but think of like root beer or sarsaparilla or cream soda or something like that, where it's got these nice spices on the top, but then it's got this creamy vanilla on the bottom, and that's what this has. It's got a creamy vanilla. There's something powdery in here, but I don't think it's the vanilla. And what happens is, you know, you get that opening lasts for me, and I have dry skin, so I usually don't get the best performance, but with this, 45 minutes to an hour of the opening. I mean, it is really strong, really good performer. But as that opening of those spices go away, that vanilla kind of, it's still there, and it kind of creeps in more, and it gets creamier as it dries down. There's lots of fragrances I have where there's stuff that kind of, like there's other ingredients that kind of get in the way of the vanilla. And then by the time they go away, the vanilla's kind of going away too. So it's a little bit of a disappointment, but not with this. So, you know, I have other fragrances that does what this does, but this has something a little extra on the top. So I do have other fragrances in my collection that this kind of reminds me of, kind of does the same thing, and it doesn't reinvent the wheel. You guys have smelled this before if you've been collecting for a while, more than likely. I mean, it's a really good winter fragrance, and that's what we tend to gravitate toward first, because, you know, we want these smells that really blow us away. So we kind of go after those thick, syrupy things. This reminds me a lot of Club Black, although in this, you get something a little extra, you know, in the opening. I'm not saying that Club Black doesn't give you a lot when you first spray it on, because it does. But I'm saying that this gives you that boozy touch. And I've never heard anybody describe it as boozy, but for me it is. I mean, just like I said, just a little bit, not a whole lot. You know, and it goes away pretty fast. So you're going to get that nice bouquet of spices that's going to kind of blast you in the face, and then it's going to go away, and that vanilla is going to come in, and then it's going to kind of balance out. And so as far as performance, you guys, it's not going to let you down. Like, again, it's a familiar scent profile that's known for its performance, okay? It's not reinventing the wheel. So that opening, which does set it apart a little bit, is going to last you an hour, and you're going to get this nice scent bubble about 6 feet. And I was enjoying the fragrance today. I put it on about, about 9 o'clock this morning, and I could smell it really easily at 4 o'clock. You know, it was like a few hours into that, after that, that I kind of had to dig my nose in a little bit. And then I resprayed it, you know, to do this video. So I've been smelling it all day and enjoying it, but the more I smell it, the more it reminds me of Club Black. Maybe that's because I'm inexperienced and I don't have a seasoned nose yet. You know, you get what you get from it, and I get what I get from it. And that's just kind of the way this whole thing works. It's all subjective, right? Really good performer. It's going to last you 8 hours plus. And it could be one of those ones where you smell, you know, on yourself the next day, depending on when you shower, if you shower in the mornings or shower in the evenings. So as far as practical application, I would say that this is perfectly unisex, leaning masculine. This is going to be something you will want to wear at night. In the cooler months, I would say late fall, winter, early spring. You could probably get away with it in the summertime, but just go easy on the sprays. I mean, ultimately, it's your fragrance. Do whatever the hell you want. I'm saying use your best judgment. I wouldn't reach for it because, you know, I would reach for something that would work a lot better in the warmer weather. You know, I like my tropicals, especially right now because I'm really on this tropical kick. I really like tropical fragrances. But getting back to this, I would say, you know, wintertime, dates, clubs, yeah, dinners maybe, but piano lounge, better. This has got an elegance to it, and I maybe didn't mention that before, but it does have a sophistication to it that just kind of, you know, raises your presence a little bit more as long as you dress accordingly. So this, you can dress up, you can dress it down to maybe business casual. I wouldn't go super casual with this, but that's just me. You can do whatever you want because it's your fragrance. This leads me to the last part of the video where we talk about a controversial subject, and that is the subject of clones and how ethical they are, because it is probably more ethical to get a 10 ml sample of the real thing and try it, and then determine if it's worth $200 or more for you to buy, because that's what it costs. This cost me $40 from Aroma Concepts that I can afford. See, I want you guys to know this about me. I want you to learn something new about me every video. I have close to 350 bottles in my collection, and I bought every bottle with my own money, except for 3. There was 2 that were gifts for my ex-wife and my daughter for Christmas, and then 1 was sent to me from Randy over at Fragrance Dude. Shout out to you, Randy. So if I'm going to spend $200 on a fragrance, which I don't do very often, I'm going to get me a Creed. I'm going to get me a Raja or a Sedley or a Amouage or something like that. That's going to be a little bit more interesting, because even though this is really good, guys, I mean, I'm glad to have the clone because the scent profile is nice, but it's not anything new. It's not reinventing the wheel at all. So that's my thoughts on that, and I think that's about it. So guys, based on the presentation and the performance and the scent profile, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10, and this is a fantastic fragrance. If you don't have any fragrances with this sort of scent profile, like Club Black or, you know, your Armani Stronger With You's, definitely recommend this. Check it out. Well, once again, guys, thanks for joining me. And this was my review of Paris Corner Emir Rifaaqat, the baby cat clone. It's going to take the world by storm. Actually, this was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you joining me. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried this, if you like it, if you think it's just okay. Let me know if you agree with my review, and maybe let me know if I forgot anything to mention, because after all, we're here to help, you know, other people make wise purchases when it comes to fragrance. And if you have anything else to add that maybe I overlooked, let me know in the comments below. Give me one of these. Subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. And all you reviewers and content makers out there that have been sending the love back after I've been following you for a couple of years, just want you to know it means a lot to me. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next fragrance review video. See you.